Hey guys, and welcome back to War Thunder. It's Krebs, and in today's video we'll be taking a look at the BF-109 E-7 U2, another exclusive vehicle that can be unlocked through the Thunder League. Now, if you're already flying the E4, then you're right at home with this plane because the flight performances between the two planes is exactly the same. But historically, the E-7 U2 was a ground attack variant, so it had an additional 5mm of armor on the underside of the fuselage. Unfortunately, we're still yet to see this put into War Thunder, but I wouldn't doubt it if it gets added in over time. But otherwise, let's hop out into some matches and we'll continue talking about it. So here we are in some realistic battles on the map Ruhr, and I don't know what it is, but every single time I took out this plane yesterday, about 5 or 6 matches, I was put up against American and British foes on this map. I don't know, must have some sort of preference about being against those particular foes. But anyway, this plane is very nice to fly out with. As I was saying about the E4, it has exactly the same characteristics as it, so if you know how to fly the E4, you know how to fly this. The only difference is that this plane has a premium status bonus, so you get extra rewards for utilizing it. Now, it comes out at a battle rating of 2.7, so that means you're going to be seeing low-tier opponents, but not only seeing low-tier opponents, it's kind of like you see people who may be new to realistic battles, so they don't have the best of ideas of how to approach realistic battles, and so a lot of times you'll see low-lying targets like that TBD, and I can kind of understand the TBD being low-lying, but a lot of times you even see fighter planes that are low to the ground as well, and, well, I guess it kind of makes for a nice match, doesn't it? Because it makes your life as a BF-109 a whole lot easier. Utilizing that altitude advantage you can gain very easily, that climb rate, and then booming and zooming your target. So after taking out that TBD, decided I would try to go for this Ki-43, which is an American captured Ki-43, a premium. And they can be very, very dangerous because of that turn rate that they have. So rather than sticking that turn rate, I am not gonna be doing that. I'm just gonna go fly off in a straight line, and well, it worked out quite nicely because here is Mr. Beaufort in front of me, and a well-placed shot into his skull, knocking out the pilot. That's nice, I'll take it, 2 kills right there and then. So we've got a lot of teammates left, and a lot of enemies have been down, so we made quick work of them, finishing them off, and then to a last Hurricane over here. But I've seen that, well, the majority of my team was going for him, and there's Mr. Beaufighter all by himself. I might as well turn around and go for him. So after a little bit of time, I closed that distance. Unfortunately, I was out of my MG FF/M cannons, and I only have 120 rounds between those two 20mm cannons. So as you can imagine, that's not a lot at all. But what I am left with is my 7.92mm MG17 machine guns, and I've got 2 of those of 2,000 bullets. Now, this is going to be a good example of the kind of amazing firepower that these little 7.92mm bullets have. Watch and be amazed at how Krebsy hugs the backside of this Beaufighter, soaking in shells from his rear gunner and trying to lay waste to the fuselage of this Beaufighter, most specifically actually aiming for the left wing. I'm trying to go for that inside of the engine to hopefully break the wing or catch him on fire, but oh my dearie me, look at all this oil being caught on my windshield. Oh, my days, and there we go, finally taking him down. Man, that took a long time. It is 7.92s after all, but just showing you what kind of fire potential, the difference between those 20mm cannons and the 7.92s. Those 20mm obviously doing much better work than the 7.92s. So here we are in the second battle, and you guessed it, we're on the map Ruhr, and this time as I was climbing up, making that early altitude advantage, I looked at the map and I noticed something, a dot. Unusual dot. An enemy all the way out here already. Well, he's just asking to die, isn't he? Now, you might be questioning, is it actually worth to lose all of your altitude advantage early on in a battle just for one target down below? Well, it's a low tier battle, so at these tiers, I really don't mind. But at higher tiers, I'd much rather prefer keeping that altitude advantage and going for targets such as fighters at the high altitudes first, and then going for things like bombers later on. I believe that's the way that it should be approached, but low tiers, whatever, it can make for a quick kill, and I don't think you get better than that. That was like a knife through butter against that Wellington, just easily taking him out. The power of those 20mm FF/M cannons. Now, actually talking about the armaments on this plane, I think it's actually kind of important that it's mentioned. You have two different weapons, the 20mm FF/Ms, which are an earlier variant of cannons that were fitted to earlier variants of German planes, but also you have 7.92 machine guns. Now, they go out at different velocities, and you'll especially notice this when you're firing the guns at the same time at an enemy, where the 7.92s actually go out at a faster velocity than the 20mm cannons. And if you want me to be exact, the 7.92s go out at about 850 meters per second as opposed to 585 meters per second on the 20mm cannons. So what that means is that when you're aiming with your 20mm cannons at the enemy, you're gonna have to predict exactly where to shoot much farther ahead of the enemy than where you would have to with the 7.92s. So if any time you're firing your 20mm cannons, chances are it's just your 20mm cannons that are doing damage and not the 7.92s. It's just something you have to realize, that when you run out of that 20mm cannon ammo, you're gonna have to aim well more in front of the enemy because the 7.92s obviously go out at a faster velocity, and hence you have to make up for that velocity. So anyway, here we are again in the heat of the battle. This is a Kai 61. Oh no, man, these Japanese planes can be very, very pesky. So the earlier that they're out of the battle, the better. And so just following him as he was chasing my teammate, just making for a quick, easy kill. The ideal time to actually shoot an enemy target is when they're on a turn, because they expose the greatest amount of their profile to you. And so that means a much higher chance of actually landing crippling shots on them. You could just imagine if you were in a straight line with an enemy directly in front of you, it'd be much harder, much less profile to aim at. So there was a Spitfire that was down chasing my teammate, and actually what happened here was it was my teammate that was directly behind me. I specifically broke off to the side a little bit because what this meant was the Spitfire that was trailing behind had to go for either of us. And so with that distance between myself and my teammate, that means that one of us could actually turn around and engage the Spitfire. So a little bit of, tactics and planning ahead of time is always good and helps a lot in these realistic battles. Now, getting that last shot on the Spitfire, getting that crippling shot, meaning that he flew into the ground, that's the third kill. Very nice, very nice. Still two more enemies around the vicinity. Let's see if I can get any more kills out of this. But look at that Sea Hurricane heading towards my direction, and no, he just flies over, and actually, wow. My teammate and I almost touched the wings. That would have been a romantic moment, indeed. But anyway, my teammates were outnumbering them, and so their numbers are just going to quickly fall off in this area. And that means that one enemy will be left on this match. And what happens usually in these matches is when there's one enemy left, and especially in realistic battles, because you can't see opponents, they don't highlight, especially if they're far away. Sometimes it can be kind of hard to figure out where they are. But here's a really good tip. Activate the order, the blind hunt, if you have it available to you. Because what this does is it highlights people around the map at random to try and target and kill them. And so what this means is if there's only one opponent on the map left, he will be automatically highlighted. And that's exactly what happened with this opponent over here, this Wellington. So we could see him from a vast distance away and know exactly where to go. So that is a definite useful thing to use your orders on. Keep those blind hunts for scenarios like this. So I wanted to give my go against the Wellington. I mean, you guys seen what happened when I was up against the Beaufighter with the 7.92s. I wonder if it's going to take so long to down this plane like that Beaufighter. I wonder if I can sustain a lot of damage like I did against that Beaufighter. Can I do it? Bring it on, Wellington. Damn it. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, I got wrecked. I got absolutely wrecked. Now I just wanted to watch how long it would take for this Wellington to get shot down, because I mean, if he wrecked me that fast, I wanted to know how long it would take for him to get down. But check this out! Look at that! I'm still actually up! I don't know how I managed this. I think it's because I was throttling up, and I don't know, the angle which my plane was. I was actually maintaining lift a little bit there. And I'm not sure if I could have stabilized somehow, but maybe I could have stayed in the air longer. So let's see how long it takes to take out this Wellington. The guy kamikazes into him, breaking his own wing. But that Wellington definitely looks more like a shooting star right now. Falling to the ground, and there you go. It took 2 out of 4 of us to bring him down. 2 out of 4 of our lives lost to bring down that Wellington. So anyway guys, that is the BF-109 E-7 U2, a really nice plane that can be unlocked in the Thunder League. If you want to find out more about the Thunder League, you can find that out by clicking the link in the description box below. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and until next one, this is Krebs, and I'll catch you guys next time.